When we focus on trying to look good, we completely neglect our personality, and that is what forges an actual meaningful, deep, true connection. We can't have that connection without being vulnerable and honest. But when we're focusing so much on maintaining this beautiful look, there really is no room for self-expression. So if you want those true, deep connections with friends, with romantic situations, you need to focus less on and more on. The more honest you can be with who you are and what you believe in, the more you'll attract the right people. The people that are going to love you for who you are. The people that are going to stick around in the long run, who are going to listen to you when you're upset, when you're crying on the phone. When we have those circle of people around us, we start to grow away from, oh, I need to look good, oh, I need to look beautiful, and more towards, how could I make this world a better place? How can I create art from the heart? How can I start putting my music out into the world boldly and confidently? We start to really shift into this higher being. It's really difficult because as women, everything is pointing us in the direction of the mirror. But there is so much more to see in this big wide world. Hello beautiful people, I'm Alessia. I'm really happy to be sat with you today. The birds are tweeting outside and the sun is shining, so I can't really complain. So today we are going to remove ourselves from the idea that we need to look beautiful in order to be valuable. I really want to quickly talk about the fact that there is a massive pressure in our society to look beautiful. For everyone, but particularly for women. There is that kind of idea that if you are beautiful, then you're going to be successful because you're going to attract that really cool guy who has lots of money and you're going to have kids with him and live in a big house. And we're kind of sold this idea from a very young age as women that beauty equals success. So I really, really get why you might be putting a lot of pressure on yourself to perfect your looks. Maybe you consider yourself as someone who's beautiful and you still feel like you're not really getting anywhere, that you're not really close with people, that your life isn't that fulfilling. This video is for you. Maybe you actually don't feel beautiful at all, maybe you feel invisible a lot of the time. This video is also for you. I recognise that we're all coming from different places. I've had that pretty privilege, and my God does that attract people and opportunities into your life. For sure, that is a privilege. But the thing that I have found the most empowering is telling myself, you are so much more than your body, than your face. Your looks is the most uninteresting aspect about you. The more we focus on how we look, the less we're going to be able to express our personality. And when we don't get to express our personality, we don't get to attract people that are going to love us for who we actually are. We don't get to attract those people that are going to sit with us at 3 a.m. talking about our childhoods, you know? I wasn't able to start making videos like this until I really stepped away from trying to be the person that looked good. Because when you label yourself as, oh, I'm the beautiful one, quite often that minimises your voice. It makes you feel like you also can't be the intelligent one. Women are put into boxes in this society. You're the beautiful one, you're the brainy ugly one, you're the lonely, weird, gothy one. And I really hate that because we are multifaceted. We might be the beautiful one, we might also be the intelligent one, we might also be quite lonely. Or we might be the ugly one in terms of how society, rules what's ugly and what's not. We might be the ugly one, but we might be really, really attractive. We might be really, really kind and empathetic. Those are characteristics that make you beautiful. The people who I believe are attractive are the people that seek to bring about positive change in the world, are the people that focus less on trying to prove themselves, but more on trying to listen and hear people. Beauty can be very much a feeling, an energy. I get that a lot of people aren't going to think from this perspective, and it's annoying because you're like, oh, if only everyone thought like this, then I wouldn't be feeling like the odd one out as the ugly person, or I wouldn't be putting so much pressure on myself to make my nose smaller or do all these things to make my body look good. If everyone just viewed beauty as this kind of feeling, then I would be okay. But I think making peace with the fact that some people are going to view beauty in the way that society as a whole showcases beauty, very kind of regimented and boxy, accepting that some people are just going to have that viewpoint, but other people are going to view beauty in a very different light. Like me, they're going to view beauty as something that comes from within. Now I have made that distinction and I know the kind of people that I want in my life, the people that view beauty as something far more complicated than a lot of films and television programs make it out to be. I feel in a place of power because I can take a step back from being like, oh, I have to put makeup on every day and I have to dress in a way that's going to appeal to the male gaze. Now I've let go of that idea. I'm attracting people that I want, people that aren't shallow, people that are going to look beyond the surface, people that are going to actually want to get to know me and what I've gone through and what I think and what I'm passionate about. I very much want those people in my life. So I can now wake up every day and know that actually putting tons and tons of effort and tiring myself out by trying to look perfect is actually going to be a waste of time because it's not going to attract the people that I want. The best thing I can do is wake up, put on an outfit that feels good to me, that makes me feel like I'm expressing myself in an authentic way, and then get on with my day. Do things that fill me up in more profound ways, like meditate, work on my passion projects, create these YouTube videos, and all of these things really do attract the opportunities that I actually want, that are actually going to fulfill me in the long term. If we focus on attracting people in by means of perfecting our exterior, then we're basically signing up to a life where we have to maintain this perfected look. Not that anyone can attain perfection, but this glamorized, almost perfect look. We're basically putting the pressure on ourselves to maintain that, because the person that you drew in through your beautiful looks isn't going to be interested if suddenly you're focusing on other things and you're not looking your best. So a really important thing that I did to help me lean less on trying to look physically attractive and more on trying to express myself authentically, the thing that really empowered me to do this is changing my friendship circle. I am now surrounded by women that don't need me to look a certain way to be attracted to me, to be attracted to spending time with me. We have a good time because we have great conversations, because we care about each other, because we have similar interests, because we like going out in nature and reading and talking about stuff we've gone through and about veganism. We have all these things in common that we can talk about, and that's what enables us to have a good time. None of us need to show up looking a certain way in order for us to feel connected and attracted to one another. And in the past, I was surrounded by people, by guys actually, that wanted me to look good. That's what allowed me into their group. The best times that I had with those guys were times when I looked sexy, when I dressed up in maybe provocative clothing and lots of makeup. I had good times when I looked good because they involved me and they showed me attention and they made me feel like they were attracted to me. And that's something as humans we crave. We want other humans to feel like, they're wrapping their arms around you, that they want you there. It makes us feel safe from an evolutionary perspective. But when I didn't dress sexy and turn up in a provocative outfit to meet up with these guys, I would feel invisible. I would never be included in the conversation. They wanted me to be the eye candy, to be some form of entertainment for them. And I wanted the validation. I wanted to feel wanted. I wanted to feel beautiful. And deeper than that, I wanted to feel beautiful because I wanted to feel worthy. And I think making that connection is really important. Why do you want to feel beautiful? What's the deeper thing that you're craving? Is it love? Is it attention? Is it a sense of worth? Finding that core reason is a great thing to do. And I've actually done therapy recently and we've been figuring out some of my core beliefs. And the way in which we do it is we write down a feeling like, oh, I want to be beautiful. And then we kind of write the feeling below that's a little bit deeper. Oh, I wonder why that comes up. Because I want to keep people in my life. What goes lower? I don't want to be lonely. What's even lower? What's even deeper? I don't feel like I'm worthy of love and attention. And then suddenly you've got this kind of base layer that you can work from. If you don't feel worthy, you can try and find ways to feel worthy. You can use affirmations. You can talk with friends and family members and, cathartically let out some of those more painful feelings of loneliness and not feeling valuable, and maybe get a therapist, and there's so much you can work from in a more productive way. If the people around you now are expecting you to turn up looking a certain way, or they like being around you because you look beautiful, then of course you're going to put pressure on yourself to look sexy and look beautiful when you're around them. Of course you're going to focus more on posing to look good when you're in a social situation with them. Of course that's going to be the priority over expressing your ideas, expressing how you're feeling, talking about your week. When we focus on trying to look good, we completely neglect our personality, and that is what forges an actual meaningful, deep, true connection. We can't have that connection without being vulnerable and honest. But when we're focusing so much on maintaining this beautiful look, there really is no room for self-expression. So if you want those true, deep connections with friends, with romantic situations, you need to focus less on and more on. The more honest you can be with who you are and what you believe in, the more you'll attract the right people. The people that are going to love you for who you are. The people that are going to stick around in the long run. Who are going to listen to you when you're upset, when you're crying on the phone. And when we have those circle of people around us, we start to grow away from, oh, I need to look good, oh, I need to look beautiful, and more towards, how could I make this world a better place? How can I create art from the heart? How can I start putting my music out into the world boldly and confidently? We start to really shift into this higher being. When I shifted my friendship circle from the guys that wanted me to be the eye candy to women that saw me and that created space for me to chat openly, I really felt like I could let go of that pressure to look good, because I realised that there was other ways to draw people in and connect with people. If you're someone that focuses 90% in social situations on trying to look attractive, you're probably going to attract people who do a similar thing, and you'll have that kind of weird meetup where you're not really talking, but you're more trying to attract the guys or the people in the room to your table. If you don't want those shallow connections, you need to challenge yourself to show up properly when you meet up with people. You might find yourself losing interest or losing concentration when you're meeting up with friends in coffee shops or bars because you're trying to attract the guys in the room. I think that's something that actually a lot of women do, and it's hard to own up to it. I've done a lot of videos that kind of discuss this in more detail, which I'll link at the end of this video, by the way. It's embarrassing to admit, but actually it's not something we just decide to do naturally. It's something we're socialized to do, to try and attract men by means of being this beautiful object. Yeah, we live in a patriarchal society, so yeah, try to shame yourself less. And try to just empathize with yourself more. Oh, okay, why am I doing this? Because it makes me feel worthy. It makes me feel like I'm a successful woman. If I'm in a relationship, if men find me beautiful, it makes me feel like I'm adding value to the world. But there are other ways to add value to this world. And one way is by showing up as a true friend and listening to the person sat opposite you, listening to the woman sat opposite you, giving her eye contact, letting her talk without interrupting her, without waiting for a gap in the conversation for you to butt in and talk about yourself. Just being a listener is such a valuable quality, and that's going to make the woman opposite you feel heard. And then that might allow for a proper connection that's going to make you feel fulfilled, and it's going to give you a sense of purpose. I feel a real sense of purpose within my friendships in my life because I want to give them my all, and I feel like because I do that I add value to their lives, and that makes me feel really important and beautiful. Younger Leslie had no idea that you could feel beautiful in a way that didn't require you to look a certain way. She didn't realise that actually by giving people your time and loving energy that you could feel beautiful from within, and that could radiate out. I think the best thing you can do is give people your all. Be involved in the present moment, in the present conversation. Don't be elsewhere trying to look attractive for other people in the room. Be involved in that human connection. Really allow yourself to get immersed in conversations and to see people and let people see you. And then you will really start to feel confident in a way that you've never experienced before. course, beauty in the eyes of Western society is a look, a very regimented, fixed look, but actually we can all have our own individual perspectives on what is beautiful. I think you are stunning. I think you are gorgeous if you are a good listener, if you're passionate, if you're self-aware, and if you like to self-reflect, which you're doing right now. So I think you're beautiful. As soon as I started realizing that I had a voice, that I wasn't just this body and this face, as soon as I started stepping into my opinions and my passions and owning them and externalizing them, the more I did that, the more I attracted different things into my life that I needed, different friends, different experiences, different opportunities. I started a YouTube channel. I started researching more and more about feminism and empowering myself more and more. I started attracting friends that actually wanted to talk to me. It can be such an empowering process, moving from that person who stays quiet and tries to look beautiful to that person that expresses themselves. It can be this really transformational process. And I know it's really scary, but you will shed the friends that are not meant to be in your life, that are not going to let you be your best self. And you will attract people that lift you up. Now, my YouTube channel, these videos, they give me a real sense of purpose. They make me feel like I'm adding value to the world. Channel your valuable energy into something that is going to give back to you. I get a lot back from these videos that I put out on the internet. So I feel so much less pressure to look a certain way now that I have a sense of purpose, a strong sense of purpose. I make videos to help people feel less alone with their insecurities. I make videos that make people love themselves more. I really, really care about women, and I'm here on planet Earth today to, yes, explore and have fun and be creative, but also to serve women. I have a real sense of purpose. I bring value into the world by means of helping women, making women feel loved. That is the value I bring into the world. Now, when I was younger, I think I very much thought that my value was my appearance, how I looked. And I think it's very natural for us as humans to latch on to some kind of purpose because it makes us feel like we've got our place in the world. We want that. So I very much encourage you to find your purpose, your passion, the thing that gives you meaning. Find your alternative method to bringing value into the world. Swap out offering the world beauty and instead offer good food, amazing YouTube videos, beautiful, vulnerable music, songs, whatever it is that you're naturally drawn to, whatever it is that you spend your time watching YouTube videos on, or whatever it is that you're just curious about, lean in to that curiosity, become an expert at a certain topic, add value to the world. I tell you what, since I've started doing this YouTube channel, I've started writing for a magazine that I really love and care about, I feel like I don't need to look beautiful, I don't need to look a certain way in order to be valuable in this world, because I add value in other ways. I also add value as a friend, a family member, a person that cares about nature. There are so many different areas in which you add value to this world. You are a multifaceted, complicated human being. You are not just an object that needs to look beautiful. I really know that there is so much pressure, and I know I've already said this, but there is so much pressure on women to look beautiful, and I just don't want you to feel like an idiot or like I'm shaming you for feeling that pressure. I know I'm making it seem like it's really easy by just saying, find your passion. It's a process, it's hard. It took me a long time to move from this place of I need to look good to I'm enough as I am. I add value in other ways. It took time, and it took having good people around me to facilitate me moving into this more exciting, fulfilling way of existing. So just go easy on yourself. Be kind to yourself. Let yourself take slow, gradual steps. When you next find yourself in a situation where there are guys that you feel like you want to look attractive in front of, try pouting less and expressing yourself more. Let them know that you make art. And maybe some of them might not be interested. That's okay, let them go. But one person might go, oh, cool, I make art too. What kind of art do you make? What inspires your art? When you authentically express yourself, you invite people in to your world, to your life, and you actually create a connection that's going to make you feel held and seen. And that is a beautiful feeling. So you are not here on planet Earth today to be a beautiful object for people to stare at. You are a complicated human. You are the essays that you write. You are the books that you read. You are the friends that you have. You deserve to view yourself as a whole, not just a surface layer. I know it's really difficult because as women, everything is pointing us in the direction of the mirror. But there is so much more to see in this big wide world. So take a look around. Thank you so much for watching this video. I do decentering men and self-love coaching, so if you're interested in connecting with me through that service, I've got my details in the description box. Pop me an email.